Yeah, wow. We're finally going to see a Terran player here. Again, if you wanted to see some more Terran, it was Chicken Man who was casting Beyond, Time versus Cure, right? And
He also
Creator versus
casted
Beyond.
versus Creator versus Beyond, and I think Beyond versus Cure as well. So yeah,
Yes.
thank you, Chicken Man, for
Mhm.
taking all the TvTs for us, so we didn't have to.
Yeah, we did, for those wondering, we did coordinate before the broadcast with Chicken Man. We're like, all right, we're going to go for this portion of the bracket and he can cover the other portion. So we did kind of split up in half. Again, we did work together to provide you as much coverage as we could. And now we all converge here for the grand finals.
That we do, and we are going to be kicking off that grand finals on Curious Minds LE. We're in the top left-hand corner map, spotting all the way in the top left-hand corner. We have the red Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He's proven himself in the TvT matchup, but now he needs to deal with a very, very different player, a very different race, a very different matchup. Representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG, he is Cure.
And spawning in, let's go, the bottom right-hand corner of Curious Minds LE. Curious Minds, for the first time in the entire tournament, as this is typically vetoed in ZVP, we have RP, our Blue Protoss player, representing Alpha X, currently getting proxied. It is Zoun.
What more that we expect from Cure, really?
Oh god, exactly. Apparently something is. Oh no, okay. That's.
Oh, it's just camps.
Yeah.
Mage my head, Discord. I guess OBS in your scenario because it's not frozen on my end on Discord. So yeah, I guess it is OBS ?
Yeah, that's my fault. Sorry. Whenever I open up predictions, or whenever I'm setting up predictions, it does freeze the cams. So that is on me. My apologies. Thankfully, like, the video is fine once we get into game. And this is your reminder. I believe there is still 1 minute left for predictions. Place your bets, people. Cure versus Zoun. Get on it, mate.
Cool. He's gonna take it. Normally favor Cure just because this is kind of his territory. He's won a lot of ESL Open Cup Asia, so I don't want to say he's won more of them than anyone else, because of course Zesta is still a player.
I think the most out of all Terrans.
Yeah, that's... Yeah, I think that is true.
Definitely. As we get back into this game, I do apologize, we're distracted by the technical issues that we had before. But yes, the first Reaper did come out, 2 probes did go down, so at least some damage was done, and Cure was able to scout the opener to make sure that everything was on point. But Zoun, because of his probe scout, he did confirm that there was a proxy, so he threw down the shield battery, and for the most part, he's safe and sound. For the most part.
Yeah, definitely. Hasn't overcommitted to defense either. One shield battery will still, in the middle line, will still have a lot of value as the game goes on, especially if Cure decides to go for Banshees or anything like that.
Yeah, exactly. As we do see, the Reaper is being dealt with by this Stalker. What's interesting is that behind this, with the initial factory, you could argue that maybe Cure is being a little bit greedy, but he has been pumping out nothing but Widowmine, setting himself up for a follow-up drop.
Yeah, may as well. Reaper's not quite gonna cut it when it comes to harassing across the map, so Widowmine drop is a lot more reliable in that regard.
That it is. As unfortunately, Zoun hasn't been able to scout this. We didn't have like a safety sentry thrown down for a hallucinated scout to confirm what the opener was, so he's a little bit in the dark. He did open with a blink. With the Twilight Council, so he's working on Blink. So Blink Stalkers will definitely help with this, as long as he's in position.
And that's definitely a big if. As, because of how the openings played out, Zoun doesn't have as many gateways as he normally would at this point. Doesn't have as many stalkers as he normally would.
Oh, yeah, exactly. As the main base is looking pretty exposed. Not gonna lie. The Stalkers, though, they're repositioning here into the... they're dealing with the rocks!
The snow!
Boost in, puppy, boost in!
May have just bought Cure enough time. Thankfully, have a very quick pro pull.
That we do. We do have 3 Widowmines in total. I love the micro here. Cure, he's trying to save as much as he can, and he will save 2 of those Widowmines.
Yeah, saves 2 of those Widowmines while also dealing as much damage as possible. With only 2 Widowmines, so Reaper trying to get some harassment done in the natural base. He doesn't really get any damage, but does cause a little bit of lost mining, and does also confirm what's going on in both the main and the natural.
Oh, that he does. Behind this, Cure has been able to get his natural base up and running. We do see his production kind of kicking off here as he is going for Bio Tank. And yeah, despite the awkward openings that we saw with the proxy, like Cure has very nicely transitioned from here, and he does also have this threat out on the map as well. Not just for the Windmine drop, but also, if need be, he can use this medevac to just scout the main base and confirm what the follow-up tech is going to be. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's always scouting first and damage second when it comes to Widowmine drop, or at least when it comes to priorities, right? When it comes to that Widowmine drop.
Exactly. You don't want to be wasting scans or anything. That's the purpose of a lot of these, not just Widowmine drops, but also things like these Reapers, Ravens, Raven Harass, or Banshee Harass. And at the moment, I believe that this Robotics Bay has gone unscouted.
It has, yeah. Reaper. Zoun purposely threw it down after the Reaper got dealt with, and I mean, that medevac is still in the dead air.
It really is, as Cure is getting set up for his next push. Stim on the way, +1 is on the way. The tank count is honestly getting pretty high here. Third base is on the way for Zoun, but again, I'm sure that is going to be the target here for Cure, as if Zoun wants to be aggressive with Blink Stalkers, Cure is beautifully set up for that with his SimCity and his tanks. Just if you look at it, it's just actually amazing how defensive he is. But eventually he will be pushing out.
Personally attacked. Like, look at the SimCity, Yaku. Look at how he...
Yeah, look at it, Yaku. This is how your base should be looking.
Take notes.
God damn it.
I try.
As Cure is actually pushing out a little bit prematurely. He's trying to push away these Stalkers as best he can before the medevacs. Finally, they pop out, and they'll be able to help keep these units alive. The Marauder, oh, gets picked off.
Yeah, which is unfortunate because that's definitely what you want if Colossus weren't away, but instead, Zoun doing Zoun things and going for Disruptors instead.
True. The first Disruptor's out. Oh my god, the lever goes off!
Them just finished, and with that, Cure is able to kite back just in time.
Whew. Just barely made. Meanwhile, he's got to be careful with the Raven. The Raven almost gets picked off as well. The second Nova gets only a single Marine. The tanks are sieging up, but honestly, he's in a pretty awkward location where Zoun is going to collapse on the army. The tanks are exposed.
Tanks were a little exposed, but auto turrets will be able to deal with that. And the tanks actually don't go down. GG. Cure takes that first map.
Oh my god.
I guess goes to show you why we don't see too many Protoss players go for Disruptors in PvT, at least not this early on.
Yeah, exactly. It was very risky for him to go for Disruptors instead of Colossus. I'm sure chat can imagine. Imagine if those 2 Disruptors were 2 Colossus instead. They would have been able to shave away the majority, if not all of those Marines. There would have been only tanks left, and he would have been able to hold. It's being very risky going for Disruptors instead.
Yeah, even if it was 2 Colossus and they got disabled, that's less energy the Raven would have had for those auto turrets, which really did come into play towards the end there.
Yeah, which means
every little bit of DPS won that game for Cure.
Definitely. Especially because, like, it's important to note that those Disruptors, I think they got 1 Marine each. I think, like the 2 Novas. If that.
Not the most efficient use.
Yeah.
To say the least.
Exactly. That's the downside of the Disruptors, is that you kind of put your opponent's fate in their own hands when it comes to their own reactions and their ability to split their units. So, very well done there by Cure.
It's deep, man. I never thought of it that way. You think you die to Disruptors, but really, the Disruptors just help you die to yourself.
There you go, man. That is deep. Damn. Also, you should have our cams back. They should.
Hey.
They should have returned. You can see us move. Okay, what are you doing? Oh, God.
I'm testing it out, you know?
Oh god. Shaking. As
Let's make sure we don't freeze.
there you go, mate, because that helps, question mark. As game 1, for the first time tonight, we had Curious Minds. Game 2, for the first time tonight, we have Pride of Altaris.
Yeah, we're rounding up a map bingo.
There you go.
Thanks, players. Yeah, we actually did get every single map at least once. We got Blackburn and Solar versus... Yeah! Alright, yeah, I'm into that. Anyway, we're going to be continuing our best of 5 here on Pride of Altaris LE. We're in the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We, of course, have our red Terran player coming down from the land of Korea. He is, without a doubt, the mayor of Six City, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming DPG. He is Cure.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Pride of Altaris LE, we have the South Korean Protoss player. He is blue, representing Alpha X. It is Zoun.
No proxies this time.
No proxies. Again, that aggressive push from Cure did work wonders on Curious Minds, but Curious Minds is also one of the smallest maps in the map pool. The rush distance by ground is incredibly short, so I don't see him pulling that same strategy off on this map.
You say that, but I'm getting vague memories of Cure going for 3 racks builds on Pride of Altaris.
Nah, you're not wrong. He has done that before.
Was it against Haas? It was against some protest player.
Yeah, I think it was this weekend even.
Yeah. Was it against... No, it wasn't against Zoun. Creator?
Creator. I think it was against
Creator.
Yeah. That sounds right.
Aye.
So yeah, Cure has found a lot of success with aggressive openers, even on larger maps, so we'll see if he can pull that off here. He has some nice momentum going his way already in this series, with a nice 1-0 lead, a scenario that Zoun hasn't found himself too often so far in this tournament.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Well, speaking of the devil, as 2 more axes get thrown down.
yeah.
This is his go-to.
If people are wondering, we did cast ESL Open Cup Asia over the weekend as well, and the VODs are available on Twitch if you're interested. But yeah, 3 racks from Cure. Let's go.
Let's go indeed. Of course, if the Protoss player scouts this in time, usually the reaction is to go for sentries and try to cut the army in half, but we'll see if Zoun actually goes for that, if he's able to scout this.
That's the thing, right? Because of Pride of Altaris, we have a ramp going up into the main base. Sentries with clutch force fields are exactly what you need to just cut off the army and deal with the initial wave of Marines. But we even saw, I think it was over the weekend, where I think Creator, his force fields were late.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just a little too late, and because of that, Cure already dealt enough DPS to get himself enough momentum.
Exactly, and he just rolled over his opponent from there. So again, this is a very powerful push that's going to be coming from Cure, and Zoun has to do all he can first to scout it, because honestly he hasn't seen too much. He has seen nothing but Marines, which is a bit of a tell, but again, it's not 100% certain.
Yeah, it's kind of 60-40, isn't it? When you see this amount of Marines out this early on, it's like, it could be a 3 racks, or it could just be a quick reactor into a 1-1-1.
Yep, exactly. So there is that little bit of uncertainty there for Zoun, as he does have to confirm what's coming his way. Meanwhile, we do have a Robo behind this, so I imagine he's going to be wanting to go into splash damage. We'll see what he goes for. As oh my god, the Adept actually finds a way into the main base.
I did not expect that at all. Did you see the other 2 Raxes?
He didn't, but he saw the second wave of Marines.
Alright, well, that should be enough of a tell.
Yeah,
If it was 1-1-1, you would need to skip out on a couple of these Marines to get your factory and your starport.
Exactly. So now Zoun is well aware of the 3 racks opener the Marines are going to be pushing out soon. Zoun wants to slow this down with these Stalkers and Micro as best he can before Stim finishes, and he will have a little bit of a window here. Where he can chip away at this.
Yeah, but the Marauders are coming into flank. Blink is not done yet. Now it is.
Oh! That was close. But again, Zoun has to do whatever he can to slow this down. 3rd base is on the way for Zoun. Again, you could argue being greedy, but, he wants to defend and get away with as much as he can. The army, though, it's going across the map.
Yeah, taking a long way around, not going for the normal rush distance, which is understandable. Kira knows that there are stalkers lying in wait over there.
Yeah. Kira's also gambling right now. If you look at his vision, he hasn't scouted a single thing. I think he's hoping that the third base is here at the triangular third. Unfortunately, it's not there, so he won't find any damage yet. And, ooh, the observer is going to scout the bio.
Yeah. So Zoun has enough information to sort of deal with that. Cure dips in, sees there's no third base, and he doesn't go straight for the natural. So he deals with that observer and regroups? He's waiting for reinforcements?
Yeah, I think he wants to catch Zoun unaware. Zoun is trying to find the army, though, and so far he hasn't found much success, just barely missing it.
Just barely. No one ever checks the pocket.
Oh. He turned around for a moment, but he hasn't seen it yet. Meanwhile, Curie's going across the map again. He's looking to reinforce. Oh, he finds it!
Here we are. And Kira's just looking to distract this army for as long as possible. He doesn't want to pull stim yet. Not without any medevacs out. Meanwhile, towards the south, though, there's another push getting ready to go for that third base.
That it is. The difference being we do have overcharge. Only 2 stalkers, though. But again, so far, Zoun has done an incredible job at finding the army and, again, slowing it down. Defending in general. Kira, though, he wants to wait for that opportunity. He stims forward.
Colossus here to reinforce the army. He's going straight for the battery that's overcharging, and now he wants to go for the Colossus. Does he have enough? He does have enough Marauders, and he has enough bio to deal with the rest of the gateway units. Cure waited so long, he was so patient, but now he finally finds the right time to hit that T button, and he gets some mineral line for his troubles. Not too bad.
Not bad. It could have been better, but it could have been worse. He does get the Colossus, 11 probes full as well, so Cure, I'm sure he's content, question mark, with that. It's hard to tell because
satisfied-ish, maybe.
Zoun is still ahead in workers, and he's going across the map. There are no tanks, by the way. Like, these Blink Stalkers, they could do a lot, but finally the medevacs are out.
Yeah, and with that, these Stalkers need to be a lot more careful. You can utilize Blink to outrange the bio as much as you for as long as possible, but when you have the medevac out, the Terran player suddenly becomes a lot more trigger happy when it comes to stim. That's bad news for any stalker on the map.
Exactly, and now that the medevacs are out, Cure can stim a little bit more freely. He was avoiding stimming for as long as possible, which is why Zoun found so much success. But now that time has come and gone, so Cure, he's able to get his third up and running, get it fully saturated, working on his Vikings as well. Well aware that Colossus tech is already out, so he needs to prepare for that.
Indeed. That's of course going to be the main backbone of Zoun's army. Not having any Ravens out is a little unfortunate, but again, you can still get away with this with enough Marauders and with enough Vikings. Yeah,
as you said, it is honestly a little bit risky to do this without Ravens, but you know, he's doing it, and if anyone can do it, it is going to be Cure as he meets up with the rest of his drop. Honestly, he could even try and Doom drop into the main base. Oh,
yeah, not anymore. Yeah, it's all these stalkers, but you know, early on there may have been an opportunity. Cure wants to go for it.
He wants to. The problem is that the probe scouted this. He's crazy. The stalkers are right here. Blink is available. He's gonna try and go for it.
They are.
Oh god.
Blink is available, but stalkers aren't quite in position. Cure dips in, and then he realizes, wait a minute. Those stalkers are one blink away from completely wiping out my army and counterattacking. I need to dip the heck out.
My heart, mate. Like, Cure, please. Calm down, buddy. Come back home. Don't throw it all away. Not yet. As the army does get spotted by this observer. So Zoun knows that the threat of a drop is no longer there. He can now reposition and focus his attention at his third base, which is where Cure is headed.
Yeah, Cure wants to go for a bit of a multi-prong, which is, you know, may as well. It's kind of strength of Terran army at this point.
Yeah, and honestly, he's kind of weaved his way here where he was able to avoid a lot of the detection. He has to be careful, though, if he does go for a drop, because, again, the Stalkers are still kind of here in position, and Cure will back off.
Yeah, unfortunately, just as the Stalkers move away, but, you know, he didn't have eyes on that base, so wasn't entirely aware. A couple of DTs are out. Oh, but Cure knows about them.
Yeah, he does scan immediately on one of the DTs, but not all of the DTs. Missile darts are being thrown down, though. Again, Secure can prepare and avoid any unnecessary damage by said DTs. Ghosts are coming out, enhanced shockwaves. Like, Cure has teched up quite nicely.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting Cure to be a little bit more aggressive, but instead he is being patient. He just wants to make sure that he has the army he needs that can really counter the army that Zoun is going for. And so far, he does. He's got quite a number of Vikings, 6 of them in the sky, which is just enough to deal with these Colossus. He's got a lot of Marauders. He's got more than enough Ghosts to EMP the entire army several times over.
Like, it's all going to come down to the Purification Novas. Like, we have 4 Disruptors out for Zoun. You can't EMP that. Vikings don't help against that as well. So, again, the Novas, how good are they going to be? At the same time, Zealot Rambai hits the 3rd base, and there's not a lot here to defend.
Yeah, there's actually one bunker behind the mineral line, which is not something you see every day.
Oh, at the same time, Zoun catches half the army. 2 medevacs get picked off immediately. And Cure, I don't know if he wants to fight right now. Again, his army is already a little bit bruised. He goes for it.
This is a pretty good location to fight, though, if he does go for it. And he does! One Purification Nova lands pretty well. Another one as well, but not well enough. It seems a couple of Haluk Colossus are going to try to get something done. That Purification Nova, however, was beautiful. Cure fighting up a ramp, unfortunately, did mean a lot of his bio was taken out. The Colossus started to fall, but so was the bio!
Yeah, as you said, there were 3 Novas, one of them incredibly juicy, and that is all that was needed. The Vikings do land, but it's a little bit too late for that. Zoun will absolutely crush the entire army, and we'll see if he can keep going from here. As a reminder, you know, a bunch of workers went down earlier to a bit of a Zealot run by, and yo, Zoun, he's not stopping!
Not at all, mate. He's going for it. I was going to say, it may be a little bit more difficult now, because Zoun doesn't have any robo units. It's purely Stalkers and Zealots. But then I remembered just how powerful Zealots were.
Well, yeah, I mean, there are no tanks, there are no Widowmines. GG gets called, and Zoun puts a point on the board.
There we go. We were worried we were going to have another one-sided finals here. But we had nothing to fear at all. And this is another game, Light, where Cure has gone for 3x on Pride of Altaris, and it hasn't worked out.
It hasn't. Oh god. I mean, obviously Cure finds success with it. Otherwise he wouldn't be going for it. But it is pretty ambitious. As we saw, like, it takes a long time for the Marines and the Marauders to waddle across the map. And we
especially if you're especially if you're unable to go by the main rush path.
Exactly. That's the problem with the Zonaga tower. If the Protoss controls it, then you have to try and avoid it as much as possible to try and sneak in some damage. But Zoun, I have to commend his vision. He had so much vision out on the map, so much map awareness.
Yeah, despite all of the observers Cure was taken out, Zoun had more where that came from. He had a lot of spares.
Yeah.
Has made sure that he had constant eyes in Terran Army. Very well done. But now we're going from the longest map to the shortest map. We are, of course, on Berlingrad LE. We're in the bottom right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the bottom right-hand corner. We have our red Terran player coming out from the land of Korea. He is, of course, going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Dupuju. He's always down with the sickness. He is Cure.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Berlingrad LE, we have South Korean Protoss player. He is blue, representing Alpha X. Tying up the series 1-1 in that last game, it is Zoun. And this time, no proxy.
Yeah. Man, I'm just waiting for the game where Zoun goes for a proxy. He hasn't throughout the entire tournament run, and, you know, usually he doesn't, but usually he saves the proxies for PvPs, but today's not the day of Protoss.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I've seen Zoun go for proxy Stargate with Void Rays and Shield Batteries.
I have seen that as well, but I've seen that in both PvP and PvT.
Yeah, I've seen that in PvP. True.
Yep.
From Zoun. So we'll see if he does that at some point this series. So far, everything is, you know, above the belt here from both players. And I was about to say, now that Kira's on the smallest map, do you think he'll actually, you know, take advantage of it and go for a 3-axe? No, apparently not.
Look, he's just subverting expectations, you know, just trying to bamboozle his Protoss opponents.
I mean, regardless, this is a much more aggressive opener. Going for a rack straight into that factory instead. So prioritizing his tech over his economy. He will still, of course, get that natural, but again, a little bit later. And yeah, Cure is going across the map with this Reaper, looking to find a little bit of damage.
Yeah, actually going double Reaper this game.
Oh.
Hellion? Hellion! There we go. So Cure still wants to get damage done with his initial scout.
Oh, and I love that the Reaper actually waited for the Adept to leave, but unfortunately there was a safety shield battery in the main base. Zoun, again, crossing his T's, dotting his I's. Reaper finds no damage in the main.
Doesn't, but it does scout the Stargate first this time.
Ooh, very true. Bold move. Zoun is going for another. Sorry, Cure is going for another Widowmine drop, despite the Stargate opener. Okay, all right.
Okay, yeah. I saw the Widowmines in production and I thought, that's for defense, but I realized, wait a minute, this is Cure we're talking about.
We'll see. We'll see if he commits into more of those Widowmines. So far, there we go. We have a second on the way. At least the Reapers are able to find some damage, and he was unable to see the unit being built, unfortunately, so he doesn't know if it's an Oracle first. But I mean, he's getting a Viking just in case. Just in case.
It's being as careful as possible. The Phoenix lifts up the Hellions, but unfortunately there's no anti-air to actually take advantage of that. But the Adepts do get in position to deal with that, so nicely done from Zoun. And if nothing else, it prevents the Hellion from getting in and wreaking some havoc in the mineral lines, or even getting Scout off.
I mean, we've seen Hellions roast mineral lines time and time again, so that is not going to be happening here. We do see a big commitment. It's true, it's true. We do see a big commitment into these Phoenixes. They have just continued production. Finally, this has been scouted by Cure, so he's well aware of it. So he has just continued Viking, and he's even making a safety Cyclone as well.
A second Viking on the way too. I am also really surprised at how dedicated Cure is being right now to the anti-air.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like he's probably had some games before where Phoenixes deal a lot of damage, and he's taking it very seriously. Despite that, though, these Adepts do get in, and a couple more workers are getting picked off.
2 SCVs and Mule. Pretty good damage for 2 Adepts. I say 2 Adepts, so it was initially 3.
Yeah, because of that Widowmine. Very true, very true. As finally Cure is able to clean all of that up. The Phoenixes are moving out across the map, but because of the defenses at home, they shouldn't deal too much damage, honestly. I mean, look, yo, we got the Vikings, we got the Cyclones. Oh.
Oh, barely doesn't get the Phoenix.
Yeah,
I thought it was a... Yeah, I thought it was a little odd that Cure was going for a 3rd Viking, but now I see why.
Yeah. Let's go. He's pulling the boys. Oh my god. Cure, he's been waking up early. He's been tuning into some of them Skylar streams as he is coming out across the map. And what's great about this is that because of the opener, like, Zoun doesn't have many high-tech units. He's about to have 1 Immortal, to be fair, and that's honestly pretty huge.
He does, and of course all these Phoenixes can try to crowd control the factory units of Cure, but he still has all these... He'll still have all these Marines to deal with.
That he will. Zoun has to be so careful with when he pops his overcharge. He will have shield batteries behind this, but only 1 overcharge available. Meanwhile, Phoenixes, oh, they catch reinforcements! A Viking and a couple of Marines get picked off!
Beautiful. And none of the Phoenixes go down. This forces Cure to unsiege and reposition everything. Actually turns back.
Yeah, that was enough for Cure to be like, nah, mate. This push is not gonna work now. He's gonna come back home, and that's a lot of lost mining on all these SCVs, and he's gonna be forced to throw down a CC. Like, there is no 3rd.
Or is he? There's always a possibility that once Stim finishes up, he doubles down on the aggression, but Stim is a very long way away compared to Colossus, which one of them is already about to be out.
Yeah, that's a very important thing that you bring up, is that are we going to see a third CC? Because Cure could just go for a follow-up 2-base push, right? With his upgrades. Again, like, he invested in a pretty large army already. Why not find a use for it, right? With that second push. As so far, we just see nothing but army. Like, we still don't see a third, and Zoun confirms that. Oh, God, no! No missile turrets!
No missile turrets at all. 6 SCVs go down. That means that there are even less boys to pull when the time comes.
Yeah, and the time is coming, mate. The time is coming. Upgrades are about to finish up. Still no focus or commitment into any kind of economy. What I will say is that Zoun should be recognizing this. Third base is on the way, that's fine. But when he dipped in, like, the fact that he didn't see a third, like, that's a massive tell. Like, he needs to hyper-focus on his army right now because Cure, he's coming out across the map.
I just noticed this, but Cure has 1 medevac and 5 Vikings. And he is producing reactive Vikings at the moment.
Yes. I mean, Vikings...
Somebody really spooked him.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? There are Colossus on the way, to be fair, and these Phoenixes can be annoying. So, I mean, the Vikings, they will have their role to play. As Cure, he gets across the map. Zoun is aware that the army is somewhere, but finally he does catch a glimpse of it. Wait, only 1 shield battery? Alright, buddy. We'll see if that's going to be enough.
It's a pretty massive risk. Cure's trying to slowly leapfrog his way forward. Nice pre-split on the Marines, just in case the Colossus get a little too uppity.
Yeah, exactly. You see a slow and methodical push here from Cure. We have plenty of reinforcements coming across the map as well. What I love is that he banked them up, so in case the Phoenixes try and catch them, there are enough here for them to protect themselves.
Yeah, look how spread out they are. The Vikings as well are honestly doing a lot more than I thought they would to zone out the Colossus. I will never underestimate Vikings again.
Exactly. My god, they take out one of the Phoenixes. The pylons are under threat as well. Soon there won't be a shield battery, there won't be overcharge. Zoun, he's pulling the trigger. Oh god, but he just can't push into all these tanks. There's 5 of them. Soon to be 6.
Pulled the trigger until he didn't.
Yeah, at this point I think it's a little bit too late. Like, yeah, I don't think you ever want to be pushing into this, but he's gonna go for it.
Turn player's so entrenched at this position. Decent pickups. And the Colossus are getting quite a bit of damage done, to be fair. The Vikings are a little bit distracted by the Phoenixes, but enough Marauders and enough Marines survive, I think, to keep this going. I say Marines and Marauders, really enough tanks survive to continue to be a threat and contain Zoun.
I was so surprised. I was so surprised that Zoun pulled the trigger there. Like, pushing into 5 siege tanks, he lost his mind. And as we saw, it didn't work. And now we have the reinforcements showing up as well. There's just far too much army supply here. Zoun, he is now being patient, waiting for his arc, waiting for his moments. Oh, but he loses the Colossus.
And here come the boys. We were waiting for them to be pulled. And now they have been. The Colossus are trying to deal with the Marines, but the Vikings deal with them. Now the Vikings can finally land, and that is going to be GG. Cure takes game number 2 and will find himself a match point.
GG, well played. He only needs 1 more to be our ESL Open Cup 97 champion. Can he get there? Meanwhile, Zoun, I'm sure that he's happy that, okay, Berlingrad, we're done. We're through it. I don't have to worry about that anymore. Like, it favors aggressive Terrans so much. Now we're going to end up in a more standard map.
Yeah. I'm hoping Zoun isn't thinking, all right, I don't have to worry about aggressive Terran anymore, just because we're not in this short rush distance maps. No, mate. Cure is still gonna be aggressive. It's just, you know, the maps won't necessarily favor that style.
Yeah.
Maybe we could have Blackburn coming up later on.
We could.
If circumstances permit.
Yeah. We actually did get to see the vetoes, but I didn't actually take notes of them, so I'm not. Oh god,
they were in Hangul for the most part.
I think 2000 atmospheres was vetoed. I think
it was.
Yeah. There you go. Because I saw the minus 2000. I remember that.
minus 2000.
There you go, mate. There you go.
It's when you make 5 motherships. Anyway, we're going to be continuing our best of 5 grand finals here on Hotwire LE. We're in the bottom left-hand corner of the map, spawning all the way in the bottom left-hand corner. We, of course, have our red Terran player coming up from the land of Korea. He is going to be representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. And he only needs un momento por favor to continue his streak. He is pure.
And spawning in the as he just killed the cleaner, but no, how could you? Spawning in the top right hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the South Korean Protoss representing Alpha X, not killing his cleaner, but keeping it alive, caring for his fellow robots. It is Zoun.
His bases are going to be much more sanitary, I can tell you.
Exactly, man, exactly. Oh my god. Interesting that Cure also decides to get rid of it. To be fair, I know that the cleaner bots on the bottom left can, again, deny...
Yeah, mess up City.
Yeah, can deny the deeper from lifting and raising and stuff, so makes sense.
Can it?
Yeah. Yeah, it can. Wait, didn't we speak about that? Oh.
We spoke about how it can deny the
how
it can deny the natural base just like that. I didn't realize it could also prevent buildings from. I didn't realize that it could go onto buildings once they get built.
They can.
I thought it would. Oh, jeez.
Yeah, and there we go. There's the death of the second. Ay.
Justified, mate. Justified.
So I've seen the cleaner bot deny, let's see, the expansion for Cure. I've seen it deny the expansion for Scarlet. That was last week. I want to say it happened to a Protoss.
I've seen it happen to you while you were laddering.
Yeah, it happened to me as well while I was laddering. I'll remember that. I think it's happened to Starduck as well, I think.
It has, hasn't it?
But yeah, those cleaner bots are brutal. They're brutal. Specifically here on the lower half of the map. Yeah.
And the top half they can't get high enough.
Exactly.
To prevent that.
I think maybe the one in the natural, but I know this one here does stay in the upper portion of the base, so it doesn't mess up SimCity at the ramp. Yeah, couple of just a fun fact for the viewers. A couple of unique differences when it comes to the cleaner bots on Hardwire.
Yeah. North side versus south side.
Exactly, mate. Exactly. Meanwhile, after that Cure, he does restabilize. He gets his base on location. He killed all the cleaner bots, and he will be going for a bit of a Widowmine drop.
Yeah, Widowmine drop with Marines and Hellions to sort of harass the natural base. This is a very dedicated opening from Cure. If he doesn't get any damage done with this, then, well, he's going to be even more behind than that cleaner bot put him.
Exactly. Right now, I'm just watching the stream because I just
you need to watch it played back.
Yeah, I want to see the reaction again. Oh my god.
I wish I read Hangul. I could read Hangul. I want to know how badly Cure was swearing.
Yeah, shaking my head, mate. Shiva. For
a second, I thought it might have been the probe, but then I was like, no, wait, the probe actually wasn't in the grid, was it?
Yeah. Oh, God. Feels bad, man. Feels bad. As the drop is coming across the map, we did see once again a Stargate opener from Zoun. This time, the Phoenixes are waiting here, and they will focus down that medevac.
Yeah, the Widowmine's drop, but not in position.
Ooh.
One mine will go off, but no probes will go down.
Yeah, finally one probe. Meanwhile, at the same time, the Hellions actually dive into the mineral line, and this time, damage will be dealt.
Yeah, quite a lot of probes go down in this mineral line, in this natural mineral line. The Adepts, thankfully, were in position to deal with those Hellions in the end. And of course, Zoun did split up pretty well, but yeah, this is acceptable damage, I think, for the opening Cure went for.
Oh, yeah. Oh boy. I would hope so, as the Phoenixes are coming back across the map. This time, once again, Cure going for a very similar response. He's got his Vikings, he has his Cyclones. A bit of a difference, though, is that he did invest into a Liberator. Bold move, knowing that there are Phoenixes out there on the map.
Interesting. Well, I guess that's a pretty good way of zoning out the Adepts early on. We'll see if Cure goes for another early push, which, I mean, he should. It's Cure.
Definitely should, as all the production is finishing up. We do have our NG Bay for +1. Meanwhile, my eyes are on Zoun. Will he go for Colossus first again? Oh, it looks like that he will. Doesn't want to risk things with Disruptors.
Yeah, thankfully he's learned from Curious Minds.
Yeah. Like we've all learned from Curious Minds.
That's why it's always important to be curious, I suppose.
It is. Definitely. As we do have Cure pushing out. This was spotted by the Observer, so Zoun is well aware of the army coming. He's setting himself up. He's getting another shield battery as well to help out. He's trying to pick away at the army with his Phoenixes, but there's just too much anti-air here. He can't really do much.
Yeah, he really can. Well, maybe if he isolates the Vikings and these Cyclones? I wonder what's the objective of this move out from Cure.
Yeah, stimulus, mate. Like, I'm not... I don't know.
Yeah, stimulus, tankless. It's pretty clear that he's building up to another push eventually, but yeah, I guess this move out is just for map control?
Yeah, I think maybe if Zoun was being too greedy, the push could maybe deny the third base. But
that makes a lot more sense, yeah.
So he was just testing the waters, and then he backs off, and now he's going to push out. And this time, Stim should finish up by the time the army does get towards that third base.
Yeah, Stim should finish up, but there are no medevacs out for Cure, so he still has to be careful with when he hits that T button.
Yeah, again, very aggressive because he is not stopping with the Viking production. Like, he is just pure DPS. Doesn't care about keeping his army alive.
There's like so many WoW groups I've been in. Pure DPS.
Yaku, you've never played WoW in your life. I know. I know what the hell you're on about, mate. More dots. More dots.
More dots. Leroy Jenkins.
Stop. Just stop. What are you doing?
Jesse to the center.
As Cure, there we go. He's once again executing this massive 2-base all-in. Zoun, this time has he been taking this seriously? I'm still unconvinced by the Phoenixes, not gonna lie. Like, I don't know if they're the best move to defend. I kind of like more gateway units, but we'll see. We'll see.
Well, it definitely feels like he's overcommitted to the Phoenixes at this point. Like, I get it, you need more than the standard 5 when there are this many Vikings out, but this is just way too many Phoenixes.
And the Vikings don't care. They get a volley off on one of those Colossus. The Cyclones are helping zone out those Phoenixes as well. The Phoenixes just can't really achieve much here. Obviously, when the big fight happens, they're going to try and lift up these tanks, but they may not get the opportunity to do so.
Yeah, especially now that we're getting even more Vikings in position. Cyclones are here, double Cyclones in fact, and a lot of Marines are waiting by the tanks. For Zoun to pull this off, he needs to time this well enough that the Colossus are able to deal with the Marines while the Phoenixes move in to lift up the tanks, and so far he hasn't been able to do that.
Exactly, it's go time. He did pop Overcharge. He tried to dive on top of the tanks, but not a single tank went down. Overcharge just ran out. If there was a moment, that was it for Zoun.
But you know what? So did Stim. But the tanks are still up and running, and there are more than enough of them to chip away at the ground army. The Vikings, you managed to see a couple of volleys on these Colossus, so
it's one of those things where, again, we have all these Phoenixes, but they just didn't really do much at all. There's just too much anti-air. The tanks just go ham on these Colossus. Every single Colossus will go down.
Yeah, unfortunately, there wasn't enough of a gateway buffer for those Colossus. TOP, PvT unwinnable, GG is called, and Cure will maintain his dominance in the ESL Open Cup Asia. Didn't even matter that it was on Wednesday. PvT unwinnable.
Did we just cast Starduck? What just happened? I mean, again,
we did.
Like Zoun punished for his opener. Like, I do think that just a regular Blink Stalker openers would fare better, despite scouting the 2-base all in, which Zoun did confirm. By the way, he just kept pumping out Phoenixes, and as we saw, they just didn't do anything. They were zoned out far too well. Cure did a very excellent job at keeping all of his tanks alive. I don't think a single one died towards the end. Like, they were just left unhindered, and they were allowed to just go ham on all the Colossus and whatever was left on the ground.
Pretty much. I honestly was getting a bit of PTSD
Yeah.
in a lot of my TvP experiences where, conventional wisdom says that you don't want to get more than 3 tanks in your initial push, right? Because then you hit a point of diminishing returns. It gets suddenly a lot more of the percentage of your army supply goes to those tanks, and it is easier for the Protoss player to counter tanks than it is for them to counter bio. But Cure somehow found the sweet spot every time, the correct position to siege up those tanks, the correct amount of Vikings to deal with both the Phoenixes and the Colossus.
Yeah.
It was very methodical from Cure.
I mean, that's the key difference, is that once Cure recognized that it's a Phoenix opener from his opponents, Phoenix specifically into Colossus, mate, just make Vikings, Don't waste your time with any medevacs. Just make a mass amount of Vikings to zone out. And again, they serve multiple purposes, right? They work against the Phoenixes and the Colossus as well. And just as a 2-base all-in, that just works so well for Cure. Like, wow, that was great.
Absolutely agree with that. What happened to that Liberator?
That's a good.
I don't know.
That's a good question.
Did he cancel it?
I think he may have canceled it. If it did go off, we didn't notice it, unfortunately. Yeah.
I got all about it until the end. Where you were like, make nothing but Vikings. So I was like, no, he didn't even make a medevac. He didn't. We were like, wait a minute.
Wasn't there a Liberator? True. Yeah, Liberator
I guess that even goes to show you, you don't need a Liberator, even if you make it by mistake. Just build nothing but Vikings.
Exactly, that's all you need, mate. GG, well played. Again, a very nice all-in there from Cure, and we saw it twice here. And I'll be honest, I haven't seen other Terran players do that in TvP, so I'm sure it's going to be a little bit more popular. I'm sure it's going to be figured out as well. But it worked.
It's usually how it goes.
Yeah, it worked really well here against Zoun. Really well.
Really did. Man, I was so hyped with Zoun too. If I could place channel points, after the 2 PVZs we've seen from him, if I could bet channel points, I would have gone all in on Zoun, let me tell you. So yeah, it's probably a good thing that I'm not allowed to bet, because I would have lost all my grapes.
Shaking my head, Yaku. Shaking my head. Singaporean governance, they've got your back, mate. They've got your back.
Oh yeah. The policy is out there specifically for me.
It's true. It's
not for anyone else. It's just me.
Oh, goodness. There we go. We do have payouts, coming out here for everyone watching. And what I will say is thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in and enjoying this ESL Open Cup with all of us. Usually, ESL Open Cups are on the weekend, specifically on Sundays for Korea, or I guess Saturday for America.
Saturday, yep.
Yeah. But yeah, they're typically on the weekend. But we had something special here. It was in the middle of the week. This isn't going to be a regular thing, though. It was just a bit of a one-off.
Yeah, again, it was rescheduled because about a month or so ago, we did have a canceled week of ESL Open Cups due to website maintenance. So yeah, we are gonna have it's actually all been rescheduled to today. So we've had ESL Open Cup Asia now. In a couple of hours, we're gonna have ESL Open Cup EU, and then a couple hours after that, ESL Open Cup NA. It's like the good old days when we had every Open Cup on Monday.
Oh, pretty much, mate. Pretty much. It's all come back.
So schedule it due to GSL.
Exactly. So if you want to tune into more StarCraft, there's plenty of StarCraft today. There's ESL Open Cup Europe in a couple of hours, and ESL Open Cup Americas a couple of hours after that. Meanwhile, currently World Team League is underway, so if you're interested in watching Shopify Rebellion go up against Invictus. No, is that Invictus Gaming?
The match might have ended.
Yeah.
I know it starts with Rebellion versus Invictus, but
it may have ended. But yes, that is currently going on over on Wardy's channel. We may give him a bit of a raid. We'll see who's on. I know if M. Canning's still streaming, we may just raid M. Canning.
Yes.
God damn it. But yes, thank you everyone for tuning in. And also, if you enjoyed our casting, consider hitting that follow button. Usually we're live here on this channel at this very same time, but with Southeast Asian StarCraft instead of Korean StarCraft. We have plenty of other events that go on, and yeah, we're live almost every day.
Pretty much. Including this week.
There you go. And speaking of which, Yaku, I know you have been very lazy when it comes to streaming, but are you going to stream at some point this week? Tomorrow, maybe? Yeah, that silence tells me it's probably not going to be.
That's my answer.
Shaking my head, mate. Shaking my head. If you did stream, where can they find you, mate?
Twitch.tv/Yakuzaku1 is the channel. Twitter.com @Empora Yakuzaku is where I will announce when I go live, if I go live. And if I forget to do that, then !Discord in the chat will bring you to the CranKy Ducklings Discord server. I'm there, Light is there, and the bot that tells people when members of the CranKy Ducklings go live is also there. So, yeah, it's a pretty good way of making up for lack of memory, as apparently my memory is going downhill. I'm inheriting the dementia from Seal. It's my it's my family heirloom.
It is genetic. It is genetic.
It is.
Shaking my
heirloom.
Shaking my head, mate. Shaking my head. But yes. So if you want to tune into some of Yaku, you can follow him there on Yakuzaku1. If you want to follow me, Light_VIP, you can follow me at Twitch and Twitter. I do stream occasionally throughout the week, some Final Fantasy or for some ladder sessions. It's not high level by any means, but we do like to have some fun and enjoy ourselves. So if you're interested, then follow me there. More importantly, check us out here on the CranKy Ducklings, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, all over the social medias. We are going to be live once again in, I think, 9 hours. So I'm going to quickly go to bed, wake up, and I'm going to be casting alongside Kuro some NA Apprentice. So if you want some NA StarCraft, we are going to be casting players from the likes of Paddymac, our very own CranKy Duckling, as well as some other key players. I want to say Uko, maybe. Let me just quickly check. It's somewhere here. It's a group of 4. It's round robin. 6 best of 3s. It is going to be, my apologies, Paddymac, Antis, Disrespect, and Eon. So a lot of nice NA representation and Latin American representation there, if you are interested.
Good old Eon, or as I like to call him, the reverse Neo.
The reverse Neo, there you go. Even though it's not really reverse Neo, but you know, it's close enough, mate. It's close enough. So yes, thank you everyone for watching. We'll be live in less than 10 hours. And with that, enjoy yourselves, take care of yourselves, make sure you drink plenty of water, and enjoy a long day of StarCraft, because there is plenty of StarCraft going on today. Plenty.
Oh boy. It's like DreamHack never ended.
It never did, mate. It never did. It just doesn't stop. Stay tuned. We're going to give Wardy a raid, so give him some love. Give him some love. Ciao.
Bella.